Welcome back to my channel and thank you for being here. I spent 9 days on New Zealand's North Island. Apparently the South Island is better, but I had a good time. My prime reason for being here was seeing Hobbiton, and I found a few other fun things to do along the way. The first day I spent in Auckland. I stayed right on the water on the north side of the city and had this view watching boats going in and out all day. I did very minimal exploring in Auckland. I was doing laundry and relaxing from the day before. In all of my research for this trip, nothing ever came up about a visa. Turns out you need one for New Zealand and Australia. With a delayed first flight, 2 visas needed, and my phone not connecting to Wi-Fi, I missed my plane to New Zealand. Thankfully, I finally got the visas, paid a little extra for a later flight, made it into the country, and was still able to get my rental car. Next, I moved to Cambridge and stayed in a house with the lovely backyard you just saw and all of the birds at sunrise and sunset. From there, I went to Hobbiton. This is located on a sheep farm. When Hobbiton was originally built for the Lord of the Rings, it was a temporary construction and taken down after filming. People somehow figured out where it was filmed and started trespassing on the property just to see the landscape. Enough people were wandering this private property that in 2002, the owner started giving tours. Then in 2008, Hobbiton was built for the Hobbit trilogy and this time made a permanent structure. This place is so thought out. The tree on top of Bag End is fake. In the books, there is a tree, so Peter Jackson had one made. And when filming started 6 months after it was installed, the silk leaves had faded a bit, so some of the crew had to paint over 300,000 leaves, so it would be the correct shade of green. The gardeners planted high pollen count flowers at the beekeeper's house and medicinal plants at the apothecary's house. The attention to detail is everywhere. Here is Samwise Gamgee's house, and you can now go inside 2 of the houses in Hobbiton. This is newer. All of the scenes you see inside Bag End were filmed in a studio in Wellington. You did already see a photo of me standing inside a hobbit hole. It's only about 5 by a 12-foot hole, so the door will open and you can stand inside. There isn't an actual interior. People from the film crew came back here in 2013 and spent 10 years building these homes so we can now see the inside of a hobbit's house. And 80 to 90% of the furniture and decor in these houses was handcrafted. I could have spent hours in here looking at everything, but please enjoy while I shut up. more fun fact, this lake was man-made in the 1940s. It was one of 3 things Peter Jackson was looking for in a location for Hobbiton, including a big tree and the hills for the hobbit holes. And that is the end of Hobbiton. If I ever visit New Zealand again, I will be taking another tour. It was amazing. Also, the backyard at this house I'm staying at was stunning.
Another thing that's important is the river you can hear beneath us, because that's what provides that food. So if there is no river in the cave or in any particular part, we're not going to see glowworms. And that's because waterborne insects like mayflies, midges, mosquitoes, even dragonflies get carried into the cave by the river. When their eggs hatch, they see the glowworms' lights, they think it's the way out of the cave, so they fly towards them and get caught in vertical sticky lines. But once they catch something, they pull that line up like a fishing line. They do this for a period of 6 to 9 months, depending on how much food they catch. And then, like a caterpillar, they pop into cocoons.
As you can see, it's beautiful here. Lots of green fields and large trees. Lots of cows, too. I saw more cows than sheep, actually. The third place I stayed was in Omori with a panoramic view of Lake Taupo. One thing I learned is that Lake Taupo is the size of Singapore, but Singapore has a larger population than New Zealand. I took a lake cruise to see Maui rock carvings. It was a perfect day for a boat ride, so I sat outside in the very front. I was given a blanket and biscuits for the cruise. I'll link all of the excursions and tours I did in the description. When I say it was the perfect day, I mean the absolute perfect day. Those are the mountains of Tongariro National Park, the first national park in New Zealand. The one on the right that you can't really see because it's flat was used for the shots on Mount Doom in Lord of the Rings. Guys, I just couldn't stop filming. Everything was beautiful. Here is the rock carving. It is 40 feet tall and was carved from 1976 to 1980. I learned so much this weekend everywhere I went, but the only thing I remember about this is he has 2 mouths, one to speak to the spiritual world and one to our world. There are some other smaller carvings. You can kind of see the lizard on the edge of the rocks, but the sun was in the wrong place to film everything. Showing the size of the carving compared to this sailboat, it is huge. I had a great time soaking up the sun and roaming around part of the lake. All of the mountains have names and genders and protect or control something. I only remember that this one is a he. I got to see a few black swans. This tour made me want to learn to drive a boat. Not that I need a boat or have a place to store it or any great places to take a boat. That's not true. There are a couple of lakes nearby-ish. It doesn't matter because I wouldn't want to do anything with a boat other than lay in the sun. I'm not getting a boat, but the tour was that good. The captain recommended seeing Huka Falls, I don't really know how to say it, which was free and close by, so I went. It's one of those weird flowing downhill really fast rivers more than a waterfall. I guess that's not weird, it just wasn't what I was expecting. But it is pretty and very popular. I'll be spending my last couple of nights here at Clark's Beach, relaxing and enjoying the view. See you guys in Australia.